Welcome to the ESI Africa studio, broadcasting from NNet Africa. Today I am speaking with Nani Juwara, who is the Managing Director of NAWEC in the Gambia. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's start off with a little bit about your organization, NAWEC, as well as the areas that your business has been focusing on recently.
Thank you. My name is Nani Juwara, the Managing Director of the National Water and Electricity Company. This is the Gambia government state-owned enterprise, 100% owned by the government. Over the years, this utility has been focusing on the entire value chain of the electricity business, from generation, transmission, and distribution. And of course, we are unique, we also do water as well. So basically from 2017 to date, for the fact that we had a change of government in 2017, from 2017 to date, our focus has always been on trying to stabilize the power supply to make sure we meet demand. In 2017, when there was change of government, we had only less than 50% of the demand available. About 45 megawatts available, because we are a small country. So the demand at the time was almost about 70 megawatts. But what we were able to provide to the consumers was about less than 45 megawatts. So when the government came in, it was a priority, one, to recover lost generation capacity, just to make sure that we meet the current demand to avoid energy crisis. So we had the support of development partners who we had the goodwill, and they supported us first to do an emergency intervention and recover the lost generation, lost generation, so that we can meet the demand, the current demand at the time. After that, we had to develop a roadmap for the sector, just to make sure we have the medium term, the short term, medium term, and the long term plans for the generation, for transmission and distribution, and also for access, because access also to energy in our country is also low, especially for the rural communities. So government decided to come up with this ambitious target of providing electricity to all by 2025, even earlier than the global target for 2030. So right now, we are on course. Power is relatively stable in our country. We had some other arrangements that for the first time we were able to interconnect with Senegal to provide some additional capacity, for the fact that we have an increase in demand, but our facilities, that is the generation assets, are definitely aging. So they are not that reliable. So we have to also have that partnership, being part of the regional body called WAP, West African Power Pool, and also part of an organization called the Organization of OMVG. That's the Organization for Gambia River Basin. We are also a member. We share membership with Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea-Conakry in that organization. So we are leveraging on the potentials around us to be able to meet our energy needs within the country, and also to be able to have cheaper source of energy around us. So basically, we have been focusing more on all, the value chain of the electricity subsector. And right now, as we speak, we have at least achieved some relative stability, and we are working very hard now to meet the government ambitious target of providing universal access to the entire population by 2025. Currently, we have signed contracts through the support of our donor partners, the World Bank, European Investment Bank, European Union, the African Development Bank. They have all supported us in a big way, so that we can provide access to our population. Remember, the Gambia is a small country with a total, population size of about 2 million people. So to provide access, with real seriousness, we should be able to achieve this objective by 2025. So right now, as we speak, we have signed 4 contracts already. We have commissioned by the 6th of May, before coming here, we've already inaugurated. About 46 communities have been electrified, and now they all have access in the rural communities. We are working hard to the implementation of the rest of the contracts. As we speak, all of them have at an advanced procurement stage. We have already started receiving some of the materials, especially the poles, to start physical construction, to provide access. And all things being equal, by the end of the year, we should be able to provide access to additional almost about 300 communities. And by the end of 2024, the total number of communities we wanted to identify would be between 700 to 800 communities. That will be huge. And hopefully, that might not be the end thing for us, but by 2025, we hope either through access through the main grid or through mini grids, we should be able to provide universal access. Right. So definitely we are on course. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in terms of all the planning that you have in place and the very short time period you've given yourselves in order to achieve that, is there one particular project that stands out for you that you are working on currently?
Yes, not only one, a number of projects. But one that stands out for me is the solar project. For the first time, we are going to have a 23 megawatts solar project with battery backup for about 8 hours battery storage capacity. So this is a project that is there to all of us because it's the first time that we are going to have renewables in our mix, in our energy mix. This has been absent for a very long time and has significantly contributed to the cost of energy in our country. So we are struggling. We are 100% dependent on fossil fuel right now. But with this project, which is funded by the World Bank, European Union, and the European Investment Bank. So this is one project that is dear to our heart, that by the end of 2023, we hope that this particular project will be commissioned. So this is something that we cherish, to say at least for the first time, we also have such a huge capacity of renewables being part of our energy mix. So that's
a really good project that you are working on. So here at NAWEC Africa, you are part of the Utility CEO Forum. What has been the key takeaway for you?
Well, good question. When I was coming here, the day before I left my country to travel to South Africa, I had to be confronted with a protest, from the population. There's a group of people who were not happy with our company increasing the end user tariff for the customers. So I left my country early morning of Sunday, but Saturday in the afternoon, I had to be with the protesters to receive their petition, asking questions why we have to increase tariffs, and they were not happy. So I thought this is a problem that is, maybe peculiar to me. Of course, I know, but most people don't know back home that the problem that we are facing back home is a similar problem all over, globally, that energy prices have already gone up for everybody. And we are all struggling. We are almost in a crisis situation. And utilities around the world have no other option. With the current inflationary rates, we have no other option but to also ask for cost recovery tariffs if we are to continue to provide quality service, which is the expectation of our consumers. So I thought maybe I am more more trouble. I mean, the problem that I have at home is bigger for me than any other what is called managing director in the sector. But when we came here, I found out that we are all facing similar situations. In fact, I am better off even than South Africa.
Oh, that is something.
Seriously?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we are better off than South Africa because right now, at least we are able to provide the power. Load shedding, of course, is happening, but for us, these are not load shedding. These are unplanned things that sometimes happen. Because maybe there's a technical problem. Before we address it, during that period, you have outage. But under normal circumstances, we have enough capacity to provide electricity to everyone for now. But being in South Africa today, I've seen that blackouts, or not blackouts, but load shedding is a daily routine. And with all that, they have also increased their tariffs. And similar to all other countries. Ghana, for example, today I've realized that for the second time in 2023, they have increased their tariffs twice. So then I got some comfort that I'm not in this alone. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the Gambia is able to supply the needed generation. Yeah. I think cost reflective tariffs, as you say, is a problem across the world. Thank you so much for sharing that with us and being with us in the studio.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. And I think utilities need to be supported, because there's a lot of balancing act. You want to satisfy your consumers, but you also need to have the revenue requirements to meet your operational costs. So it's a huge challenge. People can protest against us, but we don't have the opportunity as global citizens to protest against petroleum producing countries. You know, when they're increasing their prices, we don't have control over it. But do we have the same opportunity, just like our citizens could protest against us for price hikes? Maybe as global citizens, UN should also give us the opportunity to go protest one day to say that reduce your prices. OPEC, please reduce your prices, so that at least we can afford, we can able to provide affordable energy for our people.
Thank you so much, Nani.
You're welcome.
And to all our viewers, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.